Hey there, folks. I'm the Mysterious JG. Welcome back to WWE 2K14, 30 years of Wrestlemania. And we are about to go into Wrestlemania 29, which I guess is the final Wrestlemania of this Wrestlemania mode. That would mean this year's Wrestlemania is Wrestlemania 30. I can do math. Let's see if I can win the next match. Undertaker versus CM Punk. I didn't think we'd open with this. As Raw went old school in March 2013, Undertaker made a surprise return, his first appearance since WrestleMania 28. It was announced that the winner of the Fatal 4-Way match later that night would get to speed their text along faster than JG could read it. Would get the opportunity to break Undertaker's undefeated streak of WrestleMania 29. CM Punk won the Fatal 4-Way match and earned the right to challenge the Dead Man. Punk would arrange Undertaker on March 11, 2013 episode of Raw. He interrupted the Undertaker's solemn memorial to the late Paul Bearer, which also angered Undertaker's half-brother Kane. Punk would later defeat the Big Red Monster in a brutal no disqualification match, stealing Undertaker's urn and using it against Kane. On the final Raw before WrestleMania 29, CM Punk attacked the Undertaker with the urn, emptied its contents, and posed over the fallen legend. The only thing for certain was that at WrestleMania 29 there would be nowhere to run for CM Punk when he faced the unbridled fury of the Dead Man. Take it upon yourself, folks. Go find this match on the interwebs. You'll find you might find a really low res version. You might find a version where some asshole puts the name of their website in the middle of the screen and keeps it there for the whole match. It's still worth seeing. It was a really good match. If you find a version of it that includes the pre-match hype package, you'll get to see Paul Heyman coming out dressed like Paul Bearer with a bunch of druids, and then one of the druids, and when Undertaker comes out to confront Paul Heyman, the druid rips off his robe and reveals he's CM Punk, and he's beating up the Undertaker. It's awesome. CM Punk is the world's greatest asshole. Oh yes, Paul Bearer's dead. Oh, it's just borderline as crazy as when late at night Diablo 2 and my fellow Diablo 2 Let's Players and I start talking about the talking Paul Bearer cock ring. It was an unusual direction that conversation ended up going in. Oh, yes, I'm going to make fun of your choco.
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing 218 pounds,
As awesome as this was, CM Punk's high watermark has to be considered the Money in the Bank pay-per-view match against John Cena. Insane crowd reaction. He's booked as the bad guy, but it's in Chicago. It's built up as his last match. That didn't turn out to be the case, but people believed it at the time. That's another thing to watch, folks. Go watch that match on the YouTubes or wherever. Punk's entrance, awesome. The fans are totally behind him. Cena's entrance, historical, epic. An entire arena wants to murder him. He's booked as the good guy, but seriously, there are fans holding up signs that said, "If Cena wins, we riot." I mean, the boos were deafening, crazy. They think. Howard Finkel, of course, at one point was CM Punk's personal ring announcer for one sketch on Raw. And when the fans started marking out for Finkel and Finkel started tearing up, CM Punk kind of came out and a little bit of a dick about it. He was like, "Hey, what the fuck, man? We're supposed to just announce me and get out of here." He was never was CM Punk going to break the streak, but man, they did an awesome job. And I don't think anybody believed he was going to break the streak either. The WrestleMania matches with Undertaker are always good now. They always have a lot of near falls and teased finishes. But no, nobody thought CM Punk was going to be the one to break the streak, but they did an awesome job of building it up and making the fans really want to see the Undertaker tear CM Punk's head off.
WrestleMania tonight is not about 21-0. It's about vengeance. Tonight, CM Punk has his hands full with a very angry and determined
Suck it up, folks. This is our final WrestleMania Undertaker entrance. It's awesome purple mist name Chiron.
The Undertaker has been on the receiving end of mind games, sneak attacks, and outright disrespect from CM Punk. This won't resemble a wrestling match, in my opinion.
It will resemble a Final Fantasy boss fight, and he is chaos.
Tonight, The Undertaker can finally shut up.
If CM Punk is able to defeat The Undertaker will start shaking around and slow fade instead of quick fading like other enemies. And they won't get the typical, like, you won a battle, you will instead get a crumbling building noise. That's how powerful and awesome and epic The Undertaker is. But you actually don't get to defeat him. He's one of those boss fights with Galvez where you have to lose, like, you know, early in the game. So, the announcers ran out of stuff to say. I'm still prattling on like an idiot. I'm not sure. Undertaker is not active with WWE right now. He's just like, what I mean is he's not showing up on television as a character. He's with the company. So I'm not sure if they're even going to build up a WrestleMania match for him this year. I mean, he always has one, but one of these days he has to stop. I mean, you know, dude's been wrestling for like 20 plus years. Wouldn't mind seeing him wrestle like Daniel Bryan or somebody. Apron leg drop. When an opponent's out of the ring, Irish whip. With opponent out of ring, Irish whip opponent towards ring. Press A or X to head the front opponent. Okay, that's what has happened before. That is a sweet counter.
The Undertaker looking for vengeance against
Vengeance for Fiji.
Well, CM Punk has made it very clear that he doesn't
Unfortunately, I believe if you attack Paul Bearer, you do get disqualified. And one of the things that was unique about this match, usually they build up like Undertaker, Triple H will defeat you, I will crush you, or Shawn Michaels like, I will pin you. CM Punk was like, if I can get him to disqualify himself, I'm going to do it. If I can beat The Undertaker by countout, I'm going to do it. He was like promising that he was going to win through whatever cheeseball bullshit way necessary because he's a bad guy. He was like making a point of this. He's like, I'll take a countout. I'll take a DQ. I'll take whatever. Whatever I do, if I beat The Undertaker, it's going to be historical.
He hooks the head.
And I'm really not doing that hot right now. So I got a lot of stuff I'm supposed to do in this, but the apron DDT, I want to probably just get going on that because it could be a pain in the ass. Get out of my damn way, Heyman. Okay, that did not get me DQ'd. That's pretty cool. To know that I can do that.
Now back into the ring.
There's my leg. Okay, there's the apron leg drop.
A crushing leg drop.
You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna take out Paul Heyman here, or see if I'm allowed to. Reversal by Paul Heyman.
Back into the ring now.
Come on, he's in a match. Oh, ow!
Heading back.
Okay, you can't do that to the divas. Like if somebody has a diva, or I should just say female, as their second, you can't attack them. You are allowed to beat up Paul Heyman. That's good to know. Dead man dive. The Demon Dizzy. I will hit you with the Demon Dizzy, CM Punk. We're desecrating the remains of Paul Bearer. The guy freaking dumped the urn, which in theory, there was like implied that this was Paul Bearer's urn. So this is not literally what happened, but the implication was he fucking poured Paul Bearer's cremated body on the Undertaker and then posed over him. I mean, what an asshole. He's not even an asshole. He's a sentient being made of the assholes of others. Bodies comprised entirely of assholes. He's the platonic ideal, the quintessential asshole. And it's awesome, because that was his job.
There's the jawbreaker.
Right now, he's a baby face, and it's not a whole lot to his. You know, it's just kind of a generic, I fight, I'm tough, I got guts. But, man, was he good as a heel. He's not bad as a face by any stretch. Alright, so damn it, I gotta use the Hell's Gate. That's some kind of goofy-ass submission move.
One way or another,
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I remember this. That douchebag. Commentators completely ignored it, but that was a big deal. He just used old school, one of the Undertaker's signature moves. But he does the zombie setup, so.
Nice block. Don't forget that CM Punk held the WWE title for well over a year. He defeated all challengers.
The Demon Brainbuster.
Not given the respect that he thinks he deserves.
2012 may have been Punk's year, but it's 2013, and right now Punk is facing
the Demon Choke Slam. Go for the
to remind Punk.
How do I do my damn Hell's Gate? There we are.
Well, CM Punk stole the Undertaker's urn and disrespected the legacy of the dead man. It's safe to say that CM Punk is getting exactly what he deserves.
You done it now. You gonna make a mistake. I can't allow CM Punk to continue to exist. Not normally listen to the Undertaker, but that storyline. You just wanted CM Punk to be killed.
He's putting those educated feet to good use.
Alright, so I got a signature. Check and see whether... Because the Undertaker keeps changing up. Like, he doesn't get to do Hell's Gate earlier in this thing. Chokeslam, Last Ride, I don't think either of those are required part of my objectives. Yeah, Tombstone. So it doesn't really matter which one I do. I was trying to do the Last Ride. I guess I goofed it up. Nice. CM Punk is liable to counter this on me.
He catches him with the axe handle. Swift kick. Oh, Lord Almighty, what
Paul Bear or Paul Heyman with the counter.
To the far reaches of this packed arena.
CM Punk's not going to stand there. Ah, damn it. He's trying to run back into the ring. Heyman's like, no selling. It's like, I'm fine, no problem.
Oh, mama. What an impact from that kick.
He's giving it his all. But will it be enough? The Phenom just taking an incredible...
Oh, that elbow's got to
I
hurt.
thought he was going to go for the apron leg drop for a second. Now CM Punk running into Paul Heyman.
Now that's how you thwart the attack. Undertaker counters it.
Wow, there's some big power in those shots. Taker relentless.
The Undertaker.
So I just got to get another signature.
Punk got rocked. Oh my gosh. The dead man with a pulse can feel the momentum swinging his way. Undertaker looking to
Last Ride. Hadn't got one of those yet. And now I should be able to win it unless some kind of plot stuff happens. I'm about to win right here.
Undertaker's looking for some massive impact.
You don't know now. You're gonna make a big mistake. I can't allow. Unless he win, he might kick out of this. Because I think in plot terms he should kick out once, but I don't know if they. Yeah, they didn't program that in as a WrestleMania moment, so. Beast mode. Triple H should have kicked out. So much cooler than CM Punk. And the spirit of Paul Bearer smiles down and says, "Oh yeah, I don't want to run my Tony Parker and you and the spirit of CM Punk."
The will and the perseverance.
I don't know why we got on this air about Paul Bearer and adult novelty. Another LP, folks. Go watch it on Gremlin's channel like everybody else did. Don't bother checking out my Borbo's version.
It's the greatest streak alive.
Yeah, take a look at that, folks. That's what you want. More Undertaker. So there you go, folks. That's it for the Undertaker in this LP, unless I decide to... I'll probably do at least one video of Defend the Streak, just to showcase that. I played that mode once off camera, and crashed the Xbox, so I'm not sure if it's glitched out on my thing. And again, I've also downloaded a update, so it might have patched whatever that problem was. But at any rate, folks, 14-minute video. well, 15 by the time I'm done blathering here. So you got, yeah, everyone will have known that I beat this on the first try. Still, I hope it was fun to, I mean, we didn't get to see very much of it, but to learn the storied history of CM Punk desecrating the remains of Paul Bear, it's still fun. Good times are had by all. Except for Paul Bear, who's dead. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Please tune in next time when we have a match that doesn't involve anyone's desecrated remains.